Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers
I
channel.
hope everyone are doing good. And in today's video, we are going to see about shared and process parameters in RPA Hub, which is inside ServiceNow instance. So first, let's understand what is the difference between process and shared parameter. So basically, in order to access them, go to your ServiceNow instance, filter with RPA Hub workspace or robotic process automation, and then there is something called shared parameter. And to access the process parameter, you have to create a bot process. Only then you will be able to access it. So this is my bot process, and inside that you have a field which is called process parameter, and here you will be able to create it. And the one which you see in the list is called the shared. So as the name define, it is something which is common and it can be shared between multiple bot process. So let's see how you can create it and how you can use it in the studio. But let's first look at the documentation to understand the exact difference between them. So this is the shared parameter documentation. So as we have to create a parameter which serves as the purpose, like a global variable, or it's like a place in which you can store all the configuration item which can be used on multiple bot process. The main difference between them is process parameter is something not shareable, and it is defined only to the particular process, whereas you can share a parameter which we create in the shared list. Okay, so that's the main difference between them. This is the documentation for the process parameter, which is called process field parameter. So, and these are the main difference between them, and in both the cases it just have two fields, one which is your name and the value. Name is something which you give it for the particular value, and then you have to give the respective value in it. First, let's start creating the process parameter. And so if you have already created a bot process, then you will be easily able to create it. If not, I'll give the particular link in which I have explained how you can create your bot process, credentials, and so many steps on RPA Hub, so you can watch that. So this is my bot process, which is called test process. So you can directly go to the process parameter and click on new. So as I mentioned, it has two fields which are mandatory, like name and your value. So let me give it a name like maybe my application URL. So let's say app URL, and here I'm just going to randomly save some URL. So let me randomly save like rpachallenge.com, and in case required you can also add your description. And if you want the value to be sensitive, which means like it will be like a password, you will not be able to see the value, so you can just enable it. And this can be useful when you want to create a process parameter for any password or for any confidential informations. Okay, challenge.com. So now let's click on save. Okay, so you can see that we have one process parameter, and also you can create n number of process parameter and the respective value over here. So this is done, and this particular value, I mean the app URL, it can be used only on this particular process, which is called test process. Go to the studio, you have an option to assign your bot process, right? So here you have to assign that particular process which is called test process. Okay, so currently I don't have any robots assigned, but in case you have any, you will be able to use that particular process parameter only for the process you assign them in the studio. Okay, but in case if you want to have some common URL, let's assume that you have application URL, or you have some retry number or whatever, something common which could be used for multiple bot process, then you could create that in the shared parameter. Here it is not required to assign any bot process, as what we are doing is everything inside a bot process. It is not required to additionally assign it or do any other configuration. So we have created, and this is good. Now you can just access them in the RPA Hub using the defined component, which I'll show later. And now let's see how you can create your shared one. Just click on new. So here let me say that app URL this is something, let me create it as XYZ for now. And this app URL is something which is used on multiple bot process I have over here. Okay, so I'll go here, let's provide the value, this is done, and let's click on save. And also when you create your process parameter, you can see what process it is assigned. So the bot process configuration here, which is automatically taken, which is like the test process, and this is not editable, correct? So let me see. So you can see the bot process configuration, everything, but you'll not be able to choose a different process here. And here you do not have that option, which is bot process configuration. So the meaning is that you will not be able to do it on the defined shared parameter when you create it, but you could be doing it after you create it. So here you have, once you save it, you will be getting this additional tab which is called bot process configuration. Here you have to click on this app, and here you will be able to view all the list of bot process which are in available state. So now I'm going to pick my only process, which is called test. So if you have a list of process, you could select all of them on whichever you want to use this shared parameter. Let's click on add now. So let's refresh it. And now that we have created both process and shared one, and also you can create multiple shared parameter, and you can assign one shared parameter to 2 to 3 process and the next parameter to other different process. And it is not mandatory that every bot process should have the shared parameter created. So yeah, and this is how you create both of them. Now let's go to the studio and see how you can actually access them. Okay, so go to your toolbox and filter with RPA Hub. Okay, and then you will get something called process parameters and shared parameters. So here you can get your single process parameter. So you just have to provide your name, which is nothing but this app URL. Okay, and this will give you the respective value. And then you have, if in case you have more than one shared parameters, the process parameter, you could define all the names in the configuration window. For example, let's say A, and my second one is A1. So I'll be able to get all of them, and this will give you the list of process parameter. So it is easy to access everything from the list. And if you want to change a value, for example, let's assume that you have some boolean value which you want to change after processing that, you could also change your process parameter by providing your name and the new value you want to set it. So this is regarding the process one. And again, for the shared one, you have this get and set. So you have to give all the shared parameters. So I'll show you guys as I have assigned it over here. So this is how it looks. Similarly, if you want to set it, you could also set your value over here. And also, whenever you create your shared parameter, make sure that your bot process configuration is done. If not, you will be getting an exception to assign it. So I hope you guys understand the difference between process and shared parameter, and also how you can use them from the studio. And in the next video, we'll see another topic from RPA Hub. And in case you guys find my content useful, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video.